Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Fernando Alonso's anger after chasing down Lewis Hamilton in the closing lap of the Singapore Grand Prix, as well as a new report on George Russell's future. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on X at James's Pit Lane, I'll leave a link in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. So I thought I'd start by quickly talking about the incident involving Oscar Piastri and his team radio. As we know, Piastri was not happy on the team radio during the Grand Prix following an incident with Lando Norris at the start. The two made contact, Norris got ahead, Piastri wasn't happy about it. Now, as we know, McLaren won the Constructors in Singapore, and following the Grand Prix, footage from an onboard camera facing the cockpit in Piastri's car showed him unplugging his steering wheel whilst McLaren Racing Chief Executive Zak Brown was speaking to him, thanking him for his efforts. This led to speculation of, was it done on purpose, was it an accident? But now McLaren have confirmed to Racing News 365 that Piastri had already turned off his car and therefore never heard Zak Brown talking to him via the radio. So clearly then just one of those things. It wasn't intentional. Piastri did not even hear Zak Brown talking to him. But let's move on to George Russell, and as we know, Russell won the Singapore Grand Prix. He pretty much dominated it in the end, and it was a bit of a shock. You know, Singapore hasn't been a track where Russell has gone well at over the years, so he did a really good job in Singapore yesterday. Now for me, Russell has been one of the best drivers of 2025. He's got multiple podiums, some race wins, and sits a comfortable fourth in the drivers' standings. Still though, as we know, Russell's contract with Mercedes expires at the end of 2025, and there's still not been any update about him signing a contract extension with Mercedes. Now, it's pretty much been said publicly that an extension is going to happen, but yeah, there's been nothing official. And it's unclear when the signature will be put to paper. Now, interestingly, Racing News 365 says that it understands that Russell has had multiple offers from Mercedes, but has pushed them aside each time, with the publication saying Russell wants to see progress in several areas from the proposals he has received so far. The multi-time race winner does not only want an improved salary, but would also like to see revamped conditions. This includes, for example, the length of the contract, as well as the number of marketing days he has to do for the German manufacturer. Now, despite this, I think it is still expected that Russell will sign an extension with Mercedes. And given the rumours that the Mercedes engine could be the best in 2026 when the new regulations come into play around the power unit and the chassis, I think Mercedes could be a great place to be in 2026. So yeah, I definitely think that Russell is going to stay at Mercedes, but it'll be interesting to see how long he signs on for. But let's move on to Fernando Alonso. Now, Alonso finished the Singapore Grand Prix in 8th place, just behind Lewis Hamilton in 7th. Basically, Hamilton had brake issues towards the end of the Grand Prix, and Hamilton struggled to keep his Ferrari within the white lines towards the end of the race. And following the Grand Prix, Hamilton was handed a post-race 5-second time penalty, which demoted him down to 8th and promoted Alonso up to 7th. Now, Alonso closed a huge gap on Hamilton. I mean, with Hamilton suffering those brake issues, Alonso was closing rapidly on the final lap on Lewis. And after finishing just behind Hamilton on the circuit, Alonso was furious and made his anger known over team radio. You know, he had a proper run on the radio, did Alonso, you know, with him saying, is it safe to drive with no brakes? And also saying, today free track for them may be too much. And following the Grand Prix, while Hamilton was being investigated for track limits, Alonso told DAZN, as quoted by motorsport.com, yes, they told me about it 2 laps from the end, and I finished about a 10th behind him, so it was a bit frustrating, but at the same time, I think it's being investigated now for track limits and everything, because when you don't have brakes, you can't really go off the track, because we all have to stay on the track, with or without brakes, and although he always has a bit of tolerance, hopefully today it will be a bit less. Now, yesterday I said that I thought it was a bit unfair that Hamilton got a penalty considering he had no brakes and struggled to stay on the circuit. But at the same time, I think Alonso also makes a fair comment. Rules are rules at the end of the day. Hamilton chose to stay out and try and complete the race, and he had to stay on the track. Those are the rules. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.